Resignation at the police department, Councilman Bax.
I have two resignations, so I'd like to accept with regret the letter of resignation from Marissa Barreto. My understanding is that she's got another opportunity with another department, so I make that motion to accept her resignation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
And secondly, with a similar resolution to accept the resignation of a Michael Litton, who's also got another opportunity to further his career. So accept his resignation with regret.
Second.
Do you have dates of resignation on those?
Let's see here. With respect to Melissa Barreto, her last day of employment will be March 6th. And the same for Mr. Litton. He's leaving effective March 7th, so the last day of employment will be March 6th. Thank you. We need a vote on the second.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second on the second resignation. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
And then my understanding is, while I was not here at our last board meeting on the 26th, there was a resignation on that date, so there are 3 vacancies. And I guess I'll take these in turn. Make a motion to hire Joel Eberth, thank you, E-B-E-R-T-H, to start at the police department. Is it a part-time position?
Part-time position.
At the contractual rate.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye. I make the similar motion for Justin O'Connor to start part-time with the police department at the contractual rate.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye. And lastly, make a motion to hire Kyle Martin as a part-time officer in the police department at the contractual rate.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And on these, can you give me the date of start? Are they all tomorrow or?
Chief,
Yeah, either today or tomorrow. We'll get tomorrow's fine.
thank you.
Tomorrow.
And that's all I have.
We did the highway department 284. We did the historic preservation committee already. Waterfront, Councilman Guyman, waterfront property.
We received an email from Joanne Bostow. There's a meeting about waterfront property owners. It will be held in Ransomville Fire Hall on Wednesday, April 18th at 7 p.m. Attendance will be Duffy Johnson, Supervisor Town Porter, Clyde Burmaster, Vice Chairman of the Niagara County, Angelo Morinello, New York State Assemblyman, Mike Norris, New York State Assemblyman, David Godfrey, New York State Assemblyman, Ryan Johnson, Orleans County Chairman. Spread the word. This is an important meeting for those people who were impacted on the high water and the shore erosion. And the date is again Wednesday, April 18th, and there'll be another meeting May 16th, and information will follow.
Where was the one on April 18th?
April 18th, Ransomville Fire Hall, 7 o'clock.
Can I ask a question? Is this applicable to people with riverfront property as well?
Every single time we receive an email from one of these party members, they say, Lake Ontario, I call up and say, does it include the Niagara River? They say yes. I say, please include that in your press releases, which they don't do.
Right.
However, when we asked for anybody to fill out a form for damage to their properties, nobody filled out a form. So, yeah, so whether,
There was restrictions on people applying for it, and so some people didn't qualify, but at least they're offering.
yeah.
And
I know it's a concern to the village, that's for sure.
the second announcement is March is National Nutrition Month, and the Senior Center will be having a nutrition St. Patrick's Day luncheon on March 16th at 11:45. And if you're interested in going, call in your reservation. And spread the word. It's a good program for those our seniors who need to get involved, out and about, get active, and it's a good program out there.
Also, just to add to that, tomorrow is their Easter brunch, or Easter lunch. I think 11 o'clock, 11:30, there's a parade.
Yes, that's, yes,
Okay.
Sinatra sings too.
Yeah. Okay. The Lewiston Library, Councilman Report.
There's an event coming up on Friday, March 23rd at 6:30 in the evening. and it's called School Shooting Awareness Forum. And they would like local government representatives. I'm going to be there. Some people have been invited. I don't know who else is going to go.
What was that, John?
It's a school shooting awareness forum, and it's actually been put together by the St. Peter's School children, basically.
What was the date again? I'm sorry.
March 23rd at 6:30. And Chief Previtt, you're going to be there?
I am going to be there, and it's something that was formulated by the kids. It's going to be local law. I reached out to them as well and suggested that we invite somebody from the Niagara County District Attorney's Office. They're going to send a representative as well. It's a question about laws, safety, what measures are being taken that the kids, I believe, have and have formulated up to this point. I don't know that that venue will stay the same. When I called and asked about the involvement with the District Attorney's Office, I was informed that they had also invited either the governor or a representative from his office, and I believe that he responded that he was interested. So if that happens, the forum may have to be changed just because of crowd size. But I think it's going to be worthwhile. And just in conjunction with that as well, so the board's aware, there's, and Mr. Guyton asked today, there's, this Wednesday, there's a national school walkout that was planned. The schools, in talking, I've worked very closely with Niagara Wheatfield and Lewiston as well as some of the other schools like St. Peter's. They're not going to allow students outside of the building for safety concerns, and that's some of the concerns that we had, a bunch of kids all in one space. They are trying to provide a venue for them. Both schools, both of the major schools are providing a venue where they can acknowledge the Parkland school shooting and in an appropriate way, and we'll have extra police presence in the areas for those as well. They are planning on doing, at least Niagara Wheatfield is planning on doing a same type of thing, a panel, and I imagine somebody from the board or the board itself will be invited to that as well, but that's down the road for something that they're going to be setting up as well.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
You all set?
Yeah.
And I see that Councilman Guyton, just to add, has something he'd like to read down there.
They're nice.
We always get bad press, not from you guys, but complaints. We finally got one where they raved about us, so go ahead.
Okay. I didn't realize I was on call to do this, but I did bring along. I am writing to you from the GT Custom Built Homes. We have a new built home under construction and almost complete at 4290 Creek Road in the town of Lewiston. I'm writing to say, personally speaking, what a complete pleasure it is to call and talk to the various representatives of the town. Every department I talk to, from the general switchboard, building department, including inspectors, water department, every single one of them have the happiest disposition that I've ever heard from a city or town employee. They're extremely helpful, kind, courteous. Town of Lewiston has much to be proud of in their employees. Thank you for setting a standard. Sincerely, Doris Carlson, GT Custom Build Homes.
I'd like to thank Tim Master. She didn't talk to the supervisor's office, but she did talk to the building inspector, and I appreciate everything you guys do down there and handling yourself that way. So, yeah. So with that, oh, sorry.
What's the status of our meeting with the village board?
It's still in the works with everybody, with spring break and everything, the holidays. We're probably going to do it towards probably the end of April.
Could you please just give them a call in regards to the bicentennial to make sure that we're not getting ahead of each other and that we're together, and suggest that, my suggestion would be that Historical Association of Lewiston take the lead on it. And we did receive an email from Zach Hollister indicating that he wanted people from different groups to be part of it. The clock is ticking on the bicentennial, and it'll be on us very soon.
Yes. Well, on that, Mrs. Maggart with our Historic Preservation Commission and I were in the basement Friday? Was it Thursday or Friday? We went down there and looked over. We have a lot of files down there, old files that we want to make sure we get in order and go through them for the bicentennial. And Mrs. Maggart and I think we scheduled to go down there Wednesday morning and take a look around. And we'd like to get together a few people and to kind of go through them and see what, what we can add to the bicentennial, stuff that we'd hate to miss out on. And I believe she found some court papers from the
Yes,
early.
I have a lot of information that was done in year 175 years. And so I have a lot of that information. I was down there all day today. And I will be going through all of the information that they have. There's so much available down there, it's unbelievable. So between maps and everything else, it's there. We just have to put it together in some kind of a format. And I do have two people, one from Sanborn and also one from our commission that is going to be working on the bicentennial. So we're coming together, Bill. Don't worry about it.
I'm not necessarily worried about it, I just want to make sure that we're coordinating it, and Zach did from HAL, did send out an email indicating that they would like to take the lead.
Yes.
And was looking for our board to appoint one person and go from there. And since Mr. Rotello is there, we always ask you, is there any grant money for documentation for the historical preservation?
Yeah, absolutely. There's scanning that's available through our archives for those historical documents, so yeah.
All right, so we want scanning, we want filing, we want it to be returned, and
There's no filing, but there's scanning.
well, so we've had the problem before, we pull it all out and we get scanned, and then it's hard to get it back into the right place, it needs to be refiled better.
Well, and that's Mrs. Maggart right there.
You don't want
That's
to
her
prove
goal.
it, even if the document
It's a lot of work, Bill.
Right, it is, that's why I think it should be a paid position, looking for grant money for
And
it.
it won't take much to file it better, let me just tell you that.
But as far as Zach is concerned, he's on our commission. And he is working with me to get this all put together.
Wonderful.
So we should be in good shape.
Another thing Mrs. Maggart and I talked about, and we asked Donna if it's possible to put a bicentennial clock either on our webpage, where you'll always see the time ticking away, as you say, or on the board out in front that may come up every so often. Sort of like when they did, I remember they had one at the Atlanta Olympics, a big billboard, and it ticked off the time of
Well,
the.
if we coordinate with the village, we have 3 different dates. We have our first 1818 date, we have the village date is 1822, and the town date is 1823. Different things happen in those years. But
Put them
I'm
together.
willing to,
Not 1818.
No, no, 1822 and the 1823, we can gel those together.
1818, I believe, is when they separated from Cambria.
Yes, we weren't incorporated until 2023, so, okay. So thank you. So now after having the
But-
positive news, we move to the privilege of the floor.
One thing, Steve,
And- Yes,
is any member up there willing to be on this board?
Well,
Al, you're welcome.
I had suggested that John would, because he's worked with the historical.
John, no, we can't both do it.
Rather than,
I think we got time to talk about it, I mean. we got
Sure.
time to talk
I mean,
about it.
I have limitations, but I mean, as far as timing is concerned, but I'd be happy to help out whenever I'm available. It's a wonderful project, and I think it's deserving of all of our attention.
Okay,
So-
thank you very much, Mrs. Maggart. Okay, moving to the privilege of the floor, Rosemary Warren.
You know, I wish they would have a pickup for batteries. After we've done our smoke alarms, then you change your batteries when it's daylight saving time. And it's very difficult to find where to get rid of these batteries. You usually have like 20, by the time you've done basement, attic, garage, everywhere. So I've called the county, and they kind of, a year or so ago, referred me back to like a town, that there must be something in the town. So I don't know whether Dave is supposed to run this, but it would be just the batteries, not big car batteries, just trying to get rid of these little batteries.
It is Dave, by the way.
Dave, see what you're doing. Look at him. He's uncooperative. Okay. The last time some students were here from Newport, I guess, I talked to one of them and I said, what do you do with this, that you're sitting here? You do something with this? And he said, we are supposed to choose a topic, one that's on the agenda, and write about it, on what's been discussed, which I thought was a very good thing, not to just sit here like a bump on a log. Okay, the other thing is, I'm still onto this, Cold War thing. I may have something happen before I die, but I'm 84, time's running out. But I got a world book about the Cold War and in the Sanborn Library, and she found it out for me, and it was several pages. And really, as I said, it was quite of a lengthy thing. It was really Soviet against democracy, how Europe was going to be after World War II. I mean, it was kind of, the Soviets didn't want to let democracy come into Europe too much because they decided that would disrupt government. So it was kind of it was a Cold War. What's interesting me now is I really would like to have, and I don't know if there's anyone out there on TV watching, who signed up for the Cold War, who was in it. I'd like to talk to them. One, was it volunteer draft? Where did they train? They probably never shot a gun, and where were they stationed? So I think it would be a very informative. I still wish now. I talked to Ryan on why the word pending was on the last agenda, and it's disappeared on this agenda. So, and nothing against him. Look, he's already scared I'm going to do something bad about him. No, I think he's a nice gentleman. Well, most of you are seemingly nice gentlemen. But anyway, I talked to him, and he said, he's not overwhelmed. He didn't use that word, but you've got him working on a lot of different topics. So I guess the electric car station, which is important, is more important than these veterans of the Cold War who are dying off. Now, they're all in their 70s and 80s. And there can't be too many of them. So I really wish that if you ever know of a Cold War veteran, I did write to the American Legion, they're in Wheatfield though, on Ward Road. I wrote to them and said, do you know any Cold War veterans? I think though if they know I'm a widow, they may stay away. But anyway, so I would like to meet them, and I wish that we could do something for them. I consider them the forgotten people, because I really never thought about the Cold War people either. So they're kind of the forgotten guys. They did protect our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Warren. We do have one announcement. Earth Day cleanup, Saturday, April 21st in the village of Lewiston. This is from Mayor Colasano. Please save Saturday, April 21st at 9 a.m. for our annual spring cleanup. The village of Lewiston will be hosting this event, but it's you who will make it a success. Please gather at the Red Brick School, North 4th Street in the village of Lewiston. Trash bags, gloves, and assignment maps will be available. We will also have refreshments provided by Bob Burns, owner of Niagara Falls Tim Hortons. So, in upcoming meetings, Historic Preservation, March 13th at 6 p.m. in the lunchroom. Environmental Commission, March 13th at 7 p.m. in the Supervisor's Office. Planning Board, March 15th at 6:30 p.m. And regular town board meeting on March 26th at 6 p.m. And I believe Councilman Guyton will be absent for that board meeting? Okay.
I will also.
You will also? Okay. And with that,
It's up in the air, but I'll make sure everyone knows.
okay. I would wish everybody a safe and happy St. Patrick's Day this Saturday. And with that,
Brackets.
yeah, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.